Good morning, everybody. It's Saturday. We're on the last leg of the trip today. We'll actually load back up today and start heading back home to Arkansas. It's been a pretty good trip. It's been a lot of fun. Seen some great roads. Nobody had any serious mechanical issues. Nobody got any speeding tickets. There was some personality conflicts, but that's probably to be expected on a trip of 9 days with 7 different personalities. So good thing is we all came out of it pretty much unscathed. I'll do a video where we kind of talk about what we could have, and when I say what we could have done better is what I could have done better on the planning of the trip, taking into account that you know how sometimes you assume, and we are so used to the group of people that we're used to riding with all having GPSs, all being very structured, trying to see getting as much riding in as possible, that sort of thing. And so we've got to understand that not everybody wants to do that. So there'll be some different planning next time. I want to try to see if there's a way to, I should have sent out Google Maps to everybody, or at least had a little get together where we kind of went over the map together and just kind of circled everything so everybody kind of knew where we were going. But other than that, I think it was fine. Some of the, some people want to hang out a little more in town and do the sightseeing thing, which we do too, but 30, 45 minutes in a little town and we're ready to go. Jamie and I have always, our vacation time is pretty limited. So we want to make sure that we get in as much riding as possible. And we like to get up, go. And then we also need to figure out the food situation. Because some people wanted to eat at the hotel every morning. Jamie and I prefer not to do that. We're on vacation, so we'd like to try some natural fare while we're out and about. So we usually try to go find mom and pop or something while we're on the trip. Some people we would stop for lunch, and some people thought they had to, that was everybody was going to eat. But for the most part, Jamie and I usually shared or got something for lunch and then had a bigger dinner. So we'll all get back on our diets on Monday. But it was there's always going to be some things that we could improve on and that sort of thing. But I think everybody hopefully had a good time. When you also take into account, you're taking our skill set for this trip was very divided. We had people who were brand new with motorcycles. When I say motorcycles, her motorcycle has been 10 weeks, where she's had 10 rides, and we take her to Colorado. So I really felt bad for her because really felt that we might have set her up to fail a little bit. It's a scary thing up there, and when you're not really 100% comfortable with your machine, it's, I'm sure it didn't add to the enjoyment factor for her. But she seemed to be in good spirits, and she learned a lot on this trip, so that's always a lot of fun. I just hope she has some fun, and hopefully I think the whole group, looking back on it when they get home, and we'll send out a bunch of pictures that Jamie took, and we'll do some video. I think they'll realize how special of a trip it was. Never seen Colorado like we saw it today. A lot of snow, a lot of, just a bunch of stuff going on, which was really cool. Never seen it that, like I said, that snowy or anything like that. The weather's been fantastic. We've had a few things of rain, but nothing to speak about. And basically put on our rain gear for the most part just to stay warm because some of the passes were really cold. But otherwise, it's been a fantastic trip. We've put on 1,475 miles so far, so not a bad mileage trip. And we've been, look at that view. So I'll start editing the video. There's a bunch, so I'll start editing that. I'll probably have 3 or 4 parts of videos, just so I don't run really long in all of them. Still got to get used to talking. I feel like when I'm riding, I want to ride. So the narrating part I got to get a little better at. Understand that. This morning, We are headed to Red River, New Mexico, one of our favorite family places. You probably, from the second day we were in town, we went up there. We're going to go back. We have to go back through there to get to Raton anyhow, but we're going to stop and eat some breakfast and get our last minute New Mexico red chili fix and spend our last morning sipping coffee in the mountains. I think you always have a letdown at the end of a trip because you've been planning it for so long and you've been on the road and all that. So it's just kind of, I think it's only natural that you have a little bit of a letdown. But today's going to be a good morning. The group is staying back. They were eating at the hotel. And then they'll load up, and then they're going to do the same route, but they won't stop in Raton. And then we'll meet up in Raton as everybody's loading up the bikes. They're going to go to the NRA Museum. For those of you outside the country, that's the National Rifle Association Museum, Visitor Center, whatever it's called. Jamie and I really don't have an interest in that, but it's the rest of the group does, so they're going to run in there and check that out. And we're just going to run into Raton. So we should all get there about the same time. Load up motorcycles and then head back to Arkansas. Jamie and I are going to go as far as we feel comfortable. And then we'll just stop for the night and then roll into Arkansas early tomorrow morning. Unload the motorcycle and just kind of take it easy tomorrow. Get ready for work on Monday. All right, I'm going to turn this back off when we get to the nice twisty stuff here in about 8 miles. I'll turn it back on. I do love this valley when it's in this climb when there's not a lot of traffic. Mm-hmm. That's one nice thing about coming up early.
It smells so good.
It does smell good, doesn't it?
Fresh pine.
All those pine trees.
It is chilly.
Yeah, it's down to 48 right now. Turn the heated grips on. Yeah, it's down to 44. So it's dropped 10 degrees since we got on this road.
Yep.
I'm going to be ready for some nice warm coffee.
And good red chili.
Yeah.
Wow. That water is just rushing.
I know. It's only going to get worse with all the snow, you know.
Mm-hmm.
I guess it's pretty much melted from here, but...
Well, but it still comes from higher up.
Right. Look at that. And it's over the banks and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
This is a great way to end a trip, though, when you can finish up like this.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, rather than just droning it out.
Right. Yeah, no, this afternoon when we're going across Oklahoma, it's 95 degrees.
I'll be glad we're in the Jeep.
Yep. Just had a very nice breakfast at the Old Timers Cafe in Red River. Now we're heading on down, and the sad part of the journey starts as we're heading home. Good news is we get to finish up with some pretty good roads. A little rough up here still. All the road surfaces over the week have been a little rough because of all the weather they've had over the winter time. We get spoiled in Arkansas with all the nice roads, but you don't get this scenery, that's for sure. It's beautiful out here. Like we talked about earlier, always get this post-motorcycle trip syndrome where you're just kind of bumming that it's about to come to an end. It's been a great trip, though. I'm not one of these people who are in a rush to get home. I love my home. I love where we live. Love my, family and everything, but it sure is nice getting out on the road and just doing your thing. And probably the unresponsible thing, but it just feels good not having to worry about anything. Look at that view. A little hazy out this morning. A little chilly, so I'm sure all the ranchers and everybody out here using their fireplaces. All right, when we get to Cimarron, I'll get you all back here, but we're going to finish this up and I'll talk to y'all later. Rolling on into Eagle's Nest now. Love coming in here and seeing this lake in the mountains. This is Eagle's Nest, New Mexico. Angel Fire, New Mexico is to your right. And then we're heading to Cimarron and Raton, which will be up here on the left. A lot of people out on the lake already, checking things out. Wind's blowing pretty good. People eating some breakfast. Look at that dog.
Hey everybody, I'm having to do a little voiceover. I don't know what happened to the video when we took the, to the audio, but for some reason it's not downloading, so I wanted to kind of fill you in on what was going on here. We're finishing up the day. This is in Cimarron National Forest in New Mexico. It's always a fantastic way to end a ride. Jamie and I were just taking it easy. We were on the last couple, 150 miles of the trip, and this is the last really fun, twisty section of the trip. So we just were enjoying it. So I don't know what happened to the audio, but I wanted to add some to this. A couple things I want to talk about on the way while we're going through here is, if y'all haven't noticed, you should go to New Mexico and Colorado. They are some beautiful places to ride a motorcycle. The views are scenic. The roads are good. Not a lot of traffic. Colorado has a little more. It just depends on the time of year you're going. But as you can tell from the video, it's hard to beat the riding. So we finished up this day. This was on Saturday. It's about 10:30 now as we were riding through the canyon here. We were heading to Raton, New Mexico, where we had left our trailer. Yes, folks, we trailered in Raton and our Jeep. The reason we do that, not that we have to explain ourselves, but the reason we do trailer is we like to eat up a lot of miles, and we don't like to eat up rear tires when we go through places like Oklahoma, parts of Texas, those sorts of things. It's just kind of flat, drab, and really we've done it so many times it doesn't do much for us except for wear out a rear tire. So we always like to try to get to the fun stuff, and then we enjoy the riding. So speaking of traffic, as you can see, we kind of rolled up on some, but it's pretty easy to get them out of your way once you get going. There's a lot of open space. But again, we trailer a lot. You'll see at the end of this video, we load up, and we've got a little Kendon trailer. It's really easy to use. But folks, I just wanted to thank you all for spending some time and watching. This is episode number 9. So for those of you that have watched all the episodes, I really do appreciate it. Jamie and I are so thankful that you all spend some time and share our rides with us. I do want to say, if you've enjoyed everything, please hit the subscribe button and mash on that bell so you get notified every time we have a new video. And then that way you can enjoy the rest of our rides as well. We'll be doing some more wrap-up videos after this, debriefing. We're going to do a video with Jamie and her perspective as a pillion on the trip, and then just kind of some overall things we learned and can learn to do better in the future. So again, everybody, thanks for hanging out. Really, I think we can pass this truck, but it seems like it took a long time. But again, thanks everybody. Thanks for sticking around. Thanks for watching the videos. And again, if you like what you see, please subscribe. And we look forward to you hanging around the channel. Thanks.
Good, man. Where you guys gonna load?
He told us to come up there. There's an empty garbage place. That way the girls don't have to run the bikes back down here.
Okay, we'll be up there. Hey, watch my camera.
Oh, okay, yeah.
We'll be up there in a second. Let me get that out of the way. Sorry, babe.
Did you even remember to turn it on?
Oh, it's been on.